drift away until the day the world stops spinning. Oh, baby. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, yeah. The stars falls around us, entwining us. So baby, stay with me where the sun doesn't go down, and we will drift away until the day the world stops spinning, 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 until the day the world stops spinning.
Out of the shadows, I've come to make a name. Ready for battle, 'cause I got a throne to claim. Think that I'll crumble, I'll show you your mistake. Where you see me coming, better run for cover, 'cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster I came to conquer. When all the smoke clears, I'll still be on my feet. Forget all of my fears, 'cause I know my destiny. I feel a champion waking inside of me. It's set in motion, the legend's spoken. This is my moment. Can't break my focus, know where I'm going. This is my moment. Where you see me coming, better run for cover, 'cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster I came to conquer. When you see me coming, better run for cover. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. They're looking at us, an audience. Keep telling us what we can do, but here we are, showing them, making them wish they were you. We've heard the most when it comes to this.
Hello and welcome everybody. You're watching the IEM Beijing Open Qualifiers. We're now at the best of 3 stage where one of these teams, they're going to get through to the close qualifiers. My name's Squid and we're getting right into this matchup. I am here with M and J. How are you doing, Josh?
I'm doing fantastic. We got the starters yesterday, now we're into the main course. Rebirth and Rugratz, 2 sides that we got the pleasure of casting in yesterday's matches, and 2 sides that quite convincingly took their games. And I'm really excited to see them here. As we kick things off on overpass in the pistol, it's Kevlar all round for the Rugratz side, and let's see what they can do with it as they head on to A.
Yeah, that P250 in play for Fang, instantly taken off the equation by that headshot. Phoenix here as well. That's sneaky, remember. 1 minute 20 left to play. Lots of time on the board with Rugratz competing with this. A bomb site, a little bit of speed. Madarazzi, both contending with headshots, and there's the finisher. Rugratz, they might be the slight underdogs in this one. Rebirth, remember, they're the top seed in the whole bracket, but that will be a pistol for the Rugratz.
Really nice recovery there from RZU to find the 3 kills that were needed to overwhelm that A bomb site. Of course, they took 2 casualties, charge right in, bring those Glocks up close and personal. That's really the issue when you go for that A site. As soon as that range comes into play, the USPs wreak havoc. But once you get close enough, you can dominate, and that's exactly what they did. Rugratz, as you say, the underdogs coming into this one. But these sides are both in that MDL region, and as they charge right in once again, it's the shotguns to work with here for Rebirth, and I want to see them do some work with this. 4-pack up close and personal can't do the job.
That is such an unconventional angle, unconventional buy. Rebirth not coming in with standard counter-strike to this one. A little tickle of team damage there from Cobra, but I don't think they're going to mind too much. This damage actually has, well, might become overwhelming. JC Matter, both 29 and 9 HP respectively. And Carson holding away at this corner. That spray is not quite going to connect. Rugratz, lots of time to work with, not much HP to work with, as they seem to want to head towards the A-bomb site against the Nova. It's ready and waiting on Wretch's hands. It's ready to fire off, and we're going to hear that cha-ching come through at any moment.
I want to see it. Oh, he's got it. He's even dropped the bomb down as well. A 4 versus 4, and there's still 2 low HP players on this T side. Clock ticking away, 45 seconds on the clock. Infinite is able to trade out the frag. That's going to be the man advantage back in Rugratz's favour. But with 30 seconds left on this clock, they need to speed up this attack.
They certainly do, and to contend with that Desert Eagle in the hands of Carson and Phantom, that's the priority, the prerogative here on the A-bomb site. Mac 10's raining through, Scout missing the first shot, and that seals Sneaky's fate. This round goes to the Dogs, and it's 1-0 now, 2-0 to the Rugratz.
There was a stage in this round where I got excited. I thought that it was maybe in contention. When the shotguns got close, there was certainly potential. But instead, Rugratz just pick up the pieces. Those SMGs fire through. And now as they go into the third, they know that they're going to be against the full eco. They don't need to upgrade. They can hold on to this MP7 and the Mac 10. Maybe even Maddox goes for one of his own. That's actually going to be dropped over to him. They are going to go for the rifles instead. But this will be a very, very convincing one for them to take.
Absolutely should be. Cash farming expedition here for the Rugratz. We'll probably see JC and that maybe quite unused MP7 going to avail. Remember, $600 kill bonus, bagging that cash nice and early against the unarmored pistols on the Rebirth side. Pretty standard defense, all things considered. 3 players actually stacked up towards A. 4-pack to open up the fragging. Good man check this angle. 7 in hand is good enough for 2 to keep the trading even.
Brings things back into 3-on-3. A round they didn't have a lot of equity in. Retchie still being a real nuisance for this Rugratz side, as somehow they've taken the man advantage. The issue is the lack of Kevlar and the fact that there's only 1 weapon floating here. So Rugratz are going to fall right away. They've still got control of this C4, so they can go back and grab it. Plenty of time to do so as well. But with 2 flashes, in fact 2 smoke grenades, a single flash to work with, this could get touch and go as the clock continues to tick. I'm not sure. By going back and getting this C4, they've actually given up all the control that they've taken towards toilets, and now they have to re-product this one.
Yeah, this becomes more dangerous. The AK-47s in hand should clearly prevail, especially with 2 smoke grenades to play within 30 seconds on the clock. Challenging just Retchie on that A-bomb site. That's where we'll set our focus. The candy apple, looking to take a bite out of this opening couple of rounds here, and absolutely could do. No Kevlar becomes the real problem, but that information will gain the rotate over. Of course, Retchi's got all of the intel right now. He can wait for those radioed in reinforcements. But this bomb, Josh, it should very easily go down here. The AK spiraling in. Cobra gets taken down, and it's all through to Infinite. A 1 versus 3, and he's not got enough time for the job. Rebirth, they retake, and that's easy said than done. Infinite gets taken without finding any loss bonus.
That was a full eco there from Rebirth, and they've snatched it away from their opponent. A real statement to kick off this game, to show we're the top team here, and we are going to take this one away from you. A flawless round from Retchi. Finds those opening kills, grabs hold of that Mac 10, and then just a jump spot, get that information, and not contest it. Just fall away. He knows that the clock's getting low, and he plays it absolutely perfectly. As we go into the fourth here, it is going to be a real lackluster buy from this Rugratz side as they head over towards B early.
Smokes away, Nay doesn't connect. Cobra takes a tag of damage, but not too much more. 90 seconds on the board, as the B bomb site does seem to be the finalization to this equation, with Infinite looking to chip in for 7. Damage on the Phantom, but can't really convert.
They've still got enough time on this clock, but they're all stacked up, and this is the issue, because where they're also confined, Rebirth can take control all towards A. They can gain loads and loads of information. Right now, that's not their priority. They just want to hold on to these bomb sites. They know that they've got the weaponry advantage. And Rugratz, with a single Molotov and 2 smoke grenades to work with, I'm not sure how they're going to get their way onto this B bomb site. There's 3 men stacked up, the clock continuing to tick, and Rugratz surely go for an execute sometime soon.
Pushing the brakes, and no speed in sight. Smokes over the top, and surely this will be the final execution on these 3 pairs of players. Cobra with the first in the Eagle as well. Carson sprays away too. That puts this one back in contention. The sneak to strike. 2 fast frags. JC maybe next in line. Hits the headshot for his troubles. And at the 30-second mark, he's got so much more work to do. Bomb on his back. Rebirth closing in. There's an aid for his troubles. But with 60 HP and the AWP being the overseer of this B bomb site, the time becomes the issue. 20 seconds on the clock. Digits tapped in. And now he's stuck in place. Needs to take the pre-fire. It's not accurate. It's Retchi to reel in it instead.
Rebirth, a very, very comfortable round for them there. Carson, only 2 kills to his name, but he did so much damage that round. A flawless nade going into Monster, as all of the Rugratz players were within 2 meters of each other. It did loads and loads of damage. He was able to fire through for 2 kills and really secure that one for his side. Scoreline leveled up now 2-2, and with an AWP still on 4-pack, the rifle's surely invested here, and there's really nothing for the Rugratz side to work with. They're all down to this 2k mark. It's just going to be Deagles, a little bit of Kevlar, and that will be all she wrote for the Rugratz side.
And that's the change of pace. As soon as you lose 2 in a row, there's not really much more to work with. As you said, pistols. They'll rummage towards the connector and try and challenge Retchi right off the bat, but he's got the AK-47. 30 bullets in the barrel, remember. See what he can do with it.
4-pack has found himself a nice opening shot there. It does take out Madder towards mid. And Rugratz, with these Deagles, they just want to try and take the range. If you can connect a nice shot, gives you a little bit of an advantage. Maybe that rifle's retrievable and you have something to work with. This time round, 4-pack, just dealing with this one very, very nicely. Not being all too phased by this pistol fire. Retchi finds himself one more, and that should seal the fate here. 5 versus 2, and Cobra and RZU not going to live for much longer to tell the tale.
Yeah, the big question is, how much damage can you do? The answer to that equation is apparently absolutely nil. Nothing found. RZU last alive, looking to try and find the 1 Deags, of course, with that hand cannon, and it's going to be towards A long to try and do the trick. He's towards this other side of the map. It's nice and red, but he needs to shoot them dead. In 4-pack, first man to fight. That's an AWP dropped, and maybe Carson might swing and make a similar mistake here. Deagle can't connect onto the second. That will be round number 3 for Rebirth.
It came close. I saw a world where maybe he finds a couple there and makes that one expensive for Rebirth, but only the single kill isn't going to bother this CT side all too much. They'll reinvest another M4. They're not at a point that their economy's thriving, but they've got a full buy here, full utility on every man. That AWP on 4-pack, certainly the advantage going into the 6th here as they just face up against the AKs, and fairly limited utility on this Rugratz side, all things considered. Infinite just trying to cause a convincing fake towards that B site, but with RZU falling early, this is not the start they're on.
Certainly not. Looking for the AK-47s to battle back, and it'll be JC to open up the frag. And Retchi drops 4 versus 4. A round that Rugratz really need to take. Otherwise, it's all momentum going Rebirth's favour, and maybe even an opportunity to build that money up too.
If they can win this buy round, this would be such a fantastic start because they've stripped away a round that they had no equity in, just with the eco. Now they go into the big guns and really putting in a statement. Oh, he's only able to find the first. Sneaky drops. That gives an opportunity here for Rugratz. The bomb's miles away, and with 4-pack's position, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to cross.
Certainly shouldn't be able to. Does Cobra even check the corner? He doesn't. Gets taken down by 4-pack in the meantime. Even fragging, and Infinite strikes it back into a 2 versus 2 scenario. Back and forth, back and forth. Rugratz, they should be slightly ahead, especially as 4-pack exposes himself towards the toilets. Really doesn't know where Matt is playing from. Bomb retrieve, pistol out, and maybe the AK-47 bails to be. That'll be the equation here. 30 seconds on the board, and the C4 should go down right now, and Matter, he's got a lot of work to do in the 2 versus 2. Whole of this site completely controlled. Put grenades over the top. That's going to do tons of damage. Matter might be caught completely in translation, forced into the open. And there's the flashbang to try and capitalize. They've got this flank fully in effect. And 4-pack needs to nail the shot. It's Carson instead. That's the first. Now needs Infinite. And he is stuck along inside this water area. Bomb ticking and beeping away. Needs this shot sooner rather than later. And it's 4-pack to close. What a triple kill.
In a 2 versus 1 situation, that position is just not sufficient. 4-pack's always going to come through, and it's a fantastic round from him as well. 3 kills with that AWP. It came a bit too close for comfort, but in a buy round, it's not too much of a problem at all. They take the 4th. They force Rugratz back down to a position where they really can't buy. It's just going to be the pistols and Kevlar to work with, and Rebirth should be able to make this one 5. Looking pretty confident here on him overpass.
Seems to be pretty confident indeed. 4-2, just that narrow lead, but should be able to extend it to a 3rd coming on here. WP in hand, remember, 4-pack, usually the strongest member of the team. They should call him 6-pack. 1 minute 30 left on the board, and these Tech 9s shouldn't really be able to merit too much above a couple of kills, perhaps.
As they stack up outside this B site, they've got a few flashbacks to work with, in fact 4. So if they rain them all over, maybe they can overwhelm these B site defenders, especially with those Tech 9s in hand. A lot of run and gun potential, but you have to get up close. They become incredibly inaccurate, and the damage really drops off when you try and fire them off from range. Rugratz not charging into this one though. They're running down this clock. They want to just keep Rebirth guessing, hope that they maybe make a mistake. For now, that's not happening.
Now, with the rifles at the ready, still that triple defense, this will be a tough, tricky one for Rugratz to break. It needs to be Matter surely at the front of the line with the Tech 9 to try and do that preliminary damage. But when is it time to go into this B-bomb site? That's the question. Standard smoke, that's over the top for the barrels position to try and isolate that first man, of course. Carson does get wrecked, and Phantom next in line for a bit of a beating. 2 quick kills. Bomb should go down now on this bomb site. With the M4s retrieved, Rugratz actually have a real chance right now. RZU, the main man, to try and hold it back, and Rebirth now we'll try and pitch and poke inside. Another frag from the Tech 9 as JC wants to get all of the damage done right now. Retchy finds one in the meantime, and as the M4 comes through, he's able to find 2. JC's position exposed, and it's time for Retchy to shine with that bomb planted in the open. Is he going to defuse? Holding, JC firing. He will find the frag.
That's really unfortunate. There was enough time on that bomb that he could have tapped it and gone for the kill, but instead, holding down that defuse, it just really wasn't the answer. The Tech 9s fire through, they trade evenly, and that's exactly what you need to do when you get onto that B bomb site. 2 for 2 trading when you've got the rifles in hand just isn't good enough. And as we go into the 8th, Rugratz have quite nicely closed up this scoreline. We're now only within 1, and Rebirth have only got a couple of MP9s and the 2 AWPs to work with. Quite an interesting setup. It's 4-pack and Retchy to wield them, and as Retchy gets aggressive early, he is able to strip away a man. That's JC falling, and a 4 versus 5 as a minute 30 remains on the clock.
Lots of time, but not lots of players. Losing JC early, JC, that's the 4 AK-47s remaining with Matter at the ready. Watching for this initialist aggression. It doesn't make much sense to try and prod in a 5 versus 4, but it's a risk not well taken, and Rugratz able to punish, drawing the numbers to evens.
Especially in a round like this, where you don't have the weaponry to really work with, you need to take all of the advantages you can get. And that 5 versus 4 situation was something that they really don't want to be losing. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Not the smartest piece of aggression there, but either way, 50 seconds on.
I think trying to go for that AK-47 drop by JC might have been the real prerogative there for Rebirth. Really, you see Sneaky going through, but other side of the map doesn't make much sense to fire it through the other way. If you get a bit of preliminary information, then perhaps, but AK at the other side of the server doesn't make much sense to me. A 4 versus 3.
With 30 seconds on this clock, Rugratz really need to speed this one up. They found another frag, but 2 AWPs left to deal with. Retchi and Carson are the men to try and fire through to win this one, but as Carson drops, that's pretty much all said and done. I can't imagine Retchi goes for this one in a 4v1 situation, so he's going to fall right back and save that AWP. Of course, he's got no Kevlar to work with as well, so this would be a really valuable asset to bring into the 9th. And he doesn't want to contest this whatsoever. Rugratz, I'm not sure if they hunt here. They really don't have the money to do so, so maybe they do just fall away to the T-spawn and hold on to these AKs. Nonetheless, it's a very, very good round, and it levels up the scoreline 4-4.
Yeah, knowing that this is going to be an AWP, you've got that higher risk, higher reward. Of course, you do want to drop the sniper rifle. It's about $5,000 investment. It's a massive issue for the Rebirth bank account, slowing those Qualifiers 4-4. Rugratz, I think they're going to want some more throughout this T side. Thinking about maybe, what do you think, 6, 7, 8? That's kind of what you're going for here. One of those AKs that do drop, it's Cobra. You'd have expected him to try and bail away from B, but not wanting anything too cheeky to come through in Rebirth. Now back to the drawing board.
A map like Overpass, it's not statistically stronger on the T side, but many teams do favour it. It's due to these very very high skyboxes, allowing teams to use a lot of utility, especially on that B site. They can bombard it with flashes and molotovs, and it can become very, very tricky to hold on to. So Rugratz, they will be doing 6-7 rounds here, and right now they're certainly on track to do so. As they're just against the eco, with the AWP on 4 pack saved, I can't imagine that they'll be given too many problems here. Already that early kill found, and they should just be able to blitz onto this B bomb site, or any bomb site they choose to head onto. It looks like B is actually going to be the destination. As the Molotovs and flashes start to rain through, they group up together with this C4 in hand.
Somewhat of a stack, and maybe it will be 4 pack to find those frags. Minute mark, Rugratz, not much intel or information. Retchi even maneuvering in behind from the connector. Lots of map control taken, but can Rebirth capitalize? That's a nasty nade. It's about 100 damage, exactly 100 in fact. Right on the nose. That's a double bullseye in my maths. 45 seconds left as the Mac-10 might be with the first to gesture inside. AWP already eliminated. This surely means Rebirth have absolutely no chance. And even though Retchi's a surprising factor, he's taken by J2, who actually responds quite late. Hangover regardless.
Well, that's just unfortunate, isn't it? 4-pack, he has to go big on that AWP, and being unable to do so, it just seals the fate. He drops straight away, it's retrieved by Phantom, but he follows suit, and there's nothing more they can do. On a full eco like that, it's not too bad to get a couple of kills, which is exactly what they did. But as they go into the 10th, they haven't got the money for that AWP. It's going to be M4s all round, limited utility on Carson. In fact, Retchi and Phantom only on a single smoke grenade and a flash as well. So with a lack of offensive utility, this is going to be difficult to hold on to some of these bombs.
It can be incredibly difficult. They charge into connector instead, finding the first 2 frags. RZU and Madder drop instantly, and JC can't punish back inside. He does for 1, but 4-pack not taken care of. Into the water once again. He's got the M4 instead of the AWP this time, as JC doubles down for the damage.
A 3 versus 3 situation, a round that would be massive for Rugratz to pick up, and as 4-pack once again making another mistake, this starts to get a little bit touch and go. The C4 in the hands of Rugratz right now as they want to head over towards this A site. And Rebirth have to play this 1-1 setup. They can't afford to go for the gamble and stack one of these sites. And this is where this should just go horribly wrong for them unless Phantom can get in on the flank here.
He is the key member. Sneaky as first smoke pile driving through. He'll probably rejoin the forces on the pointy letter. Sneaky needs to fire in for at least 1 frag here, preferably not onto JC. He's the low HP player, and Phantom should be on cleanup duty right now. That's JC eliminated, and the backtrack, the flank thermally applied. A 2 versus 2, both teams equity as the AK-47's looking to oversee Sneaky inside that CTB area. Stairs look to be under contest, and he finds the headshot instead. Knows there's pressure from Bank and cashes in on both of the frags.
That's a huge mistake there from Rugratz. They had opportunities to take those post-plant positions, but I suppose without the long control and without the toilets control, you can't afford to try and play for the C4. You have to try and grab that area somewhere. And heading towards Bank, I suppose, is the answer, but it doesn't work out for them whatsoever. Rebirth, clutch up that 2 versus 2 situation, level out the scoreline 5-5, and now a pretty even Stevens bye to go into the 11th.
Yeah, just no AWP on Rebirth, though. That becomes the real problem. That money, they're strapped for cash going into round number 11. This half certainly hasn't been Road to Beijing-esque, like their name would suggest. AK-47s and that AWP on Cobra, of course, for Rugratz. More of a standard buy. We've seen ragtag rifles since the start. Nade does a little tag of damage onto Mada.
Dip away, back comes through, and Infinite. Oh, I thought he was good for 2 kills there, but he's only able to get the 1.5. That's going to put the man advantage in Rebirth's favour, and Carson spots out another on that jump peak. So a little bit of information on one of the players here from the Rugratz side. JC Angle does find himself the headshot. That brings things back into a 3-on-3. This C4 has been left behind, but it's still in Rugratz territory, and they've got plenty of time on the clock to work with. And with this pincer from Fang going over towards Long, there's definitely potential that they can make this work.
Yeah, and RZU, if was already stuck his way into the B bomb site, that's straight through Monstrated by the smoke. So as the Battle Rules player, Phantom, he is swirling around, waiting for the engagement. He finds Cobra, should be traded. Where's the flashbang? It goes right over RZU's shoulder. Very little effect. Shadow spotted, and the frag found. RZU can't capitalize on Direcchi, and JC and Cobra only have 41 HP to work with. That's incredibly low. So as the pair of M4s chip and chime on through, what can the AWP do? Watching into heaven, trying to find that first approach. A couple of flashbangs and that incendiary grenade remaining onto JC, but caught on the cross. Really brings this one down to not just evens, but Cobra clutching its straws with that aforementioned sniper rifle. Bomb tapped through, and Carson right at the top should be able to find this one. That's a 6th round for Rebirth.
That's unfortunate for Rugratz. With the lack of utility in that 2 versus 2 situation, they knew that they needed to find one more kill before they could get that C4 down, and Carson and Recchi don't give it to them. They don't peek into the angle, they wait for that bomb to be planted, and then they push in and overwhelm it. A very convincing 6 there for Rebirth, and as they go into round number 12, I'm not sure. I thought that Rugrat's economy would be a little bit more broken, but with that bomb plant, they have actually got the rifles to work with. A lot of Kevlar, well, in fact, Kevlar on every single man, a lot of utility. Nothing on RZU, but could this be sufficient?
Certainly could if they head into the B bomb site sooner rather than later, which is where 3 members are stacked, but the MP9, seeing the power of that short-range SMG to his advantage, plays up close and personal to start, backtracking through the smoke.
The jump spot's going to spawn out some information, and Mada tagged right through the wall as well. That is nuts. Sneaky actually gets the dink straight off the bat, then follows through the other wooden plank. Those wooden planks are paper thin. You can get kills from them all day long.
Yeah, and especially when you hear that first dink, it just forces you to fire through for even more. Seems really absolutely isn't.
It's a very nice start. It's a start that Rebirth absolutely need. Of course, the only man with the deagle, that was Cobra. He's managed to retrieve that AK. So all the rifles still in play here for Rugratz, but with a man disadvantage and very little control over towards this B bomb site, they have to start to backtrack, see if they can pinch some away from Long, and it's JC to try and find it. He gets eliminated by 4-pack, and this is all falling apart for Rugratz.
It does feel like Rebirth are capitalizing a lot of these initial situations. 40 seconds on the board in 4-pack, the first in line. Try and deal the damage with the AWP. Smoke down, aids the toilet break, and Infinite takes his face right off. That's certainly not tasty, more of a bullet sandwich. The A site now in contention, and the AK-47s really shouldn't be able to do all too much, even against an SMG here and just a single M4 there. Shadows once again revealed, and it's a very easy, simple, convincing round for Rebirth to find.
A nice snappy headshot from Infinite there, but that is all they can get. Rebirth just recover that one very, very nicely. 4-pack's not going to have too much trouble reinvesting into this one either. He actually won't be able to afford an AWP. What on earth? He's gone for a PP Bison.
As they say in France, the PP Bison.
PP Bison. Oui, oui, oui. I want to see it.
PP Bison. Qu'est-ce que le c'est, qu'est-ce que le ça, PP Bison.
Oui. Oh, he's getting really aggressive as well. I really want to see this work. They're just against the pistols. It could certainly happen. Creeps right up towards mid. Unfortunately, no one's there waiting for him. Rugratz have actually gone towards that B site instead. And RZU on a very, very tight angle might be able to punish 4-Pack if he does try to get too aggressive here. But Rugratz just with the pistols in hand. No Kevlar to back it up as well on many of these men. Are getting pincered in right now. 4-Pack creeping in the back lines. We could see a big, big play with this PP Bison if he times it right.
And that's exactly what I came here to see, Josh. I want to see all 64 bullets fired to avail. There's at least 10 of them. There's a couple more 4-Pack. I don't think I've ever seen a PP Bison flank before. He is able to slaughter the attack in Rebirth. I think they're feeling incredibly confident about this first map.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Whatever. Whatever. He had 5k in the bank, and I thought to myself, okay, that's enough for a buy, but it's not enough for an AWP, so maybe he just drops to an M4, maybe he asks for an AWP from a teammate. Instead, he went for a PP Bison, and it actually worked. So just really adding insult to injury on this whole situation. They now sit 8-5, they've gone for this double AWP setup, and if Rugratz can't recover these final two, they're going to have difficulty in the second half.
Yeah, they certainly should. They like a different lifestyle out there in France. They like the PP Bison, they like the La Fromage.
You don't like the La Fromage, do you, Squid?
No, I don't. I think cheese is disgusting. Disgusting!
Whatever. We're going to get back into the round, otherwise we're going to miss it. It's a 4 versus 4, and Rugratz have taken a lot of control. The real issue is that there's 2 members of Rebirth here. It's 4-Pack and Carson over towards long. As the rotations come through, Phantom whiffs his rotation flash, but the nade's going to connect, and this has complications.
Yeah, he's got an AK-47 in hand as well, but Infinite, he's got one of his own. Great headshot onto Carson. That isolates just the AWP onto long. That's 4-Pack looking for probably a 2 or a 3k right here as the rifles are forced back. What can 4-Pack do about this one? He's gone completely unbeknownst to Cobra, who's been the slowest member of this T side, and get taken down once again. That brings 4-Pack in from behind, and the AWP connects for another one. Matter finds one in the meantime. Both of the AWPs trying to clean up, and 4-Pack's able to finish it off with all 3 frags.
Not enough time to defuse that C4, though, so it is going to be the 6th here for Rugratz. Came very, very close. I think there was probably a second there missing for Rebirth to get that defuse in, but they do manage to retain that double AWP setup. They completely demolish all of the rifles there for Rugratz, and now going into this next, everyone on that $3,400 mark. This is not going to be a very healthy buy.
No, it doesn't look very good at all. It actually does look a bit better than I initially anticipated. Infinite Cobra without some of that key utility. RZU without a rifle entirely. It's the MAC-10 favouring a Molotov smoke double flash instead.
It's certainly daunting when you know you're going up against the double sniper setup, though. So far, they've worked this out very well. That spots out a man just on the edge of that smoke. He's able to capitalise on it. The flash comes through. It's absolutely perfect. Phantom drop. Surely another comes through. And Carson can't do anything to hold up the line. This has been completely crushed by Rugratz. Not a single man dropping despite the Galils in play. And Retchy, there's nothing left he can do. It's the final round of the half. Surely he drops. And that's going to be 8-7 in the favour of Rebirth.
What a great half right there. 7 rounds, great capitalization and stabilization at the end. We'll go to a very short break, just a minute or so. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back after this.
We're no kids no more. I need to feel alive in this dreadful town. I'm running out of time, and as long as you're mine, I wanna run away. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after.
Well, second half about to be underway, and we contend things with the initial pistol. 4-Pack Once again, he picks up the P250, as he often does here on this T side. It's a utility affair for Retchie and Carson, so right over the top with those smoke grenades, and really just looking to isolate this B bomb site where only Cobra is holding inside. Rugratz totally outmaneuvered, and with Sneaky inside the connector, that instantly eliminates Matter. Rebirth should be able to get the C4 down, absolutely guaranteed by Phantom. And how the hell do Rugratz get back into this one? They've got the USPSs ready and waiting, but I don't expect the pistol coming through right now. Phantom's able to find another one, and that really does just break the B bomb site. There's no way back in for these Rugratz members. Sneaky living up to his name with the flank once again. Leaves Infinite in a 1 versus 5. He's even looking to just save this Kevlar right now. Bit of damage dealt. Shuts away the chance he has of picking up that 350 cheapened Kevlar, but that shouldn't really matter anymore. He is going to find a headshot for his troubles. That ends the round. Rebirth up to 9. What a round.
Nothing more that Infinite can really do there. Just has to fall away, despite the fact that he's found himself a couple of kills. That is going to be 9 here for Rebirth, and surely they invest quite heavily into this next one as well. With that C4 plant, they've got some money to work with.
Yeah, winning the round as well just gives you that extra loss bonus. Remember that, well, that extra win bonus, I should say, and Rugratz will want to contend for this initial information. Such a powerful B-site execute. We know that Rebirth can contend and compete on all of these T sides. After all, ladies and gentlemen, they are that #1 seed.
As they start to pull ahead, it's still a very, very close game. Couple of pistols to work with, just that scout on Cobra. Rebirth should be able to put themselves onto 10 here, and as they head over towards A, they've taken a lot of control.
And just holding away with the AKs, waiting for the mistake, and it might be Cobra. Only 2 frags to his name thus far this map. Probably not the scariest threat for the Rebirth side, who obviously want to be winning this T side here. Full rotation back up to A, but Rebirth, lots of time in play.
We often say it's not about the frags, it's about the impact of them, but at this stage in the game, you really want to see more.
No scope doesn't connect. Cobra tries to double dip, and 4-pack eliminated. That drops at least one of the rifles. It's a Galil for Rugrat's troubles, but the B site seems to be the final execution. That seems to be the equation, the solver. Carson finds 2. The FAMAS only chips through for the first, and Cobra, he's finally doing some damage this map. The bullet through doesn't connect as Carson wants to go over the top of these sandbags, and he's able to spray away Infinite for the first. Every member of Rugratz falling, and Cobra's next in line. 10 Rebirth, 7 Rugratz.
I saw a world there in that 3 versus 2 situation with 2 members of the Rebirth side very low on HP, where that Deagle and that Scout pretty much becomes as powerful as any other weapon in the game. You connect 1 bullet, and that's a kill in your favor, but not being able to find either means that it is going to be 10 for Rebirth, and more than likely an 11th as they go into the third of the half. They are just against the pistols from this Rugratz side. Very, very little investment. There's no utility, no Kevlar, just a couple of Deagles and some P250s to work with.
And it's punishment time from the AK-47s. A couple of feel-good frags should come through. Try and rack yourself up 2 or 3 kills. Bit of a stat padding here for round number 3 of the half for Rebirth. Will be that 11-7 start. And just 5 ways from the finish line there with the pistols really doing too much. Infinite's going to drop. Remember, Fang and Cobra, they've got less than 50 HP between the 2 of them.
I can't imagine they can get a whole lot done here. The end game is damaged, and maybe JC can find it, and he actually is able to eliminate Retchie. So a FAMAS retrieved, a little bit of something to work with at least. But a 4 versus 4 surely doesn't go their favour.
Yeah, surely shouldn't, and double digits, that'll continue. Only 1 kill found, and that's only a FAMAS drop, remember, so not really much to work with. Matter next for a bit of a beating from the AK-47. It's painful, that's a headache, and an 11th round.
A single kill for an eco is pretty standard, and that's an eco if you don't invest for the pistols. So I'm not sure Rugratz will be all too happy with that one. Now they just need to put it behind them, go for the rifle buy here, and try and make it work. 4 M4s and an AWP on Cobra to work with. A lot of utility around it as well. But, oh, they seem to be quite late getting out of the spawn as they head over towards...
Yeah, those precious early 5 seconds, M&J.
it can certainly be impactful. It's all about being on there on the punch. If you're going for that mid pick, maybe with that AWP, you cannot waste a second. And Cobra, he's not able to get there in time. He has to fall right away, play it very far back from the site, and in doing so, gives up a lot of control. Rebirth can take toilets, they can take long before they're contested, and that really adds some complications to this round for Rugratz.
Yeah, some awkward folds, and with only 5 needed to close this one out, we'll see if the AK-47's they're good enough without the AWP on 4-pack for this 4th round of the half. The M4's at the ready towards the B-bomb site, and finally the boost to try and take water control. That's not going to give any kills, but precious information to know that Rebirth are heading towards this A-bomb site, right into the waiting arms of Cobra. Fast frag minute left, and Rebirth, they'll try and head in right now with just the 4 AK-47s remaining. They've got to delete this glass cannon early. Smash him to pieces, perhaps, as the bomb carried through. Retchi, he's able to find the first and probably plant the C4 here. That's Carbs on that utility duty. Phantom tagged, and a 4 versus 4.
Time pressure relieved for the T's, but it flips right around onto Rugratz. They've got 40 seconds to get back onto this site and find themselves 4 kills. That's the first. They need 3 more. Retchi taking a lot of damage, falls through the smoke. Now a 4 versus 2 situation that is certainly going in the favor of the Rugratz. Carson, all on his lonesome. The bomb is planted for him, but how does he find 3 kills before dropping? Only gets himself the 1. RTU surely trades it, and just in the nick of time, they're able to get onto this bomb. And do they defuse it? I think so.
Yeah, they certainly do. That kit, as soon as you've not got it, it does feel scary. And last second, closer than I thought. And that is certainly fortunate for Infinite.
I did think, but that kit wasn't in play. I thought, have they got time for this one? It's always difficult. A lot of the time, you don't have that 10-second timer on, so it becomes very, very touch and go.
It's so hard to hear it beep as well. And, like, it's so close.
Absolutely. When the pressure's mounting, it's something that you can't even think about in your head. You've got too many other problems on your mind. Rebirth right now, they are still 3 ahead, and they've got the money to invest into it again. They got that C4 plant, they did a lot of damage, so an even Stevens buy. But Cobra this time getting super aggressive. The flash allowing him to find the first onto Sneaky, and so far goes untraded. He's able to double dip, but the flash comes through. Oh my goodness! How on earth does he hit a second there?
He shows up to the server late, but now joining the party with 2 frags, almost the 3rd there, as Cobra's going to capitalize for the triple kill. More on the menu as 4-pack might want to try and shine, and it's right through the smoke. There's the no-scope, and what a collapse there. What a combination for Cobra.
I have absolutely no idea how he gets away with that. He has the flash from his teammate that supports him. It's actually Fang to throw it. He gets that first. Instantly, the second should just peek and kill him. Somehow he's allowed a few seconds to work with. Then the flash comes through, fully blinds him, still connects the shot, and then he's good for 2 more. Single-handedly shutting down this round for Rugratz, as this scoreline's going to draw closer and closer. And Carson, I don't even know what he does here. He has to just try and punch in some damage, I suppose.
Well, there is the first headshot, but a lot more on the cards to try and take this one back and get Rebirth onto 12. Otherwise, we've got a close map in the open qualifiers once again. Rebirth actually had that really tight map of train that we saw just last night. We might see one once again as Fang's able to strike for that final frag. That's 9 secure for Rugratz. 1 away from double digits here, and we see the AWP still in play. What's the Rebirth economy going to look like coming into this one? It's not all too good. So now dilemma time, decision time. Time to really make this decision. It's the AK-47 out, and this is a set piece for maybe just a force buy here. It's Carson spending to the $1,000 mark, and everybody else just picking up these pistols.
Absolutely a sketchy one. Without a full loss bonus built up as well, I don't think they'll have enough cash to invest into the next. So, quite a bizarre one. Let's see if they can make it work. 3 sets of Kevlar, a few pistols, and that AK to work with. Carson needs to go really big here to find this round for his side. And as they head over towards B short early, it's looking like they want to get into the fight.
No, the AK-47 drops right off the bat, and the Eagles can't connect for any damage there. 4-pack held back over on the B-bomb site. AK-47 ready and waiting, and that incendiary grenade creates the stalemate, which pretty much ends the round in its tracks.
3 versus 5, only the pistols, and look at that read from Infinite. He knows exactly where Retchi's standing. He's able to punch through the head, straight through that wall. 10 to 11 now. We've got a close game on our hands. Of course, this is the best of threes. It's not as unpredictable. It's not as dangerous as those best of ones that we saw yesterday. But Rugratz, snatching away so many rounds on Rebirth's pick of Overpass, certainly should shake up their opponent.
And now Rebirth need to pay Rugratz a little bit of respect. They do with the Deagles, double tech 9 for Retchi and Phantom, as they will go for a bit of a standard round to allow Rugratz to draw the scoreline leavens onto 11s. Remember, these pistols can be deadly, they can be incredibly potent. Even if the smoke grenade placed, the Tech 9's able to sweep away first, and now Cobra really has to backtrack onto long, which goes uncontested by Rebirth.
The man advantage in Rugrat's favour, and York from Cobra still punching through. Only good for one as it's instantly traded by Sneaky. He's now upgraded to that AWP, but Mad is ready and waiting to take him out. That's the C4 down. Only Carson left alone with this Deagle. 3 to find. We've seen him in this situation a couple of times. He hasn't made it work, especially with Frank coming in from the side. There's nothing more he can do. Rugratz level up this scoreline, 11 to 11, and they've built up this bank quite sufficiently. Rebirth, they have to eat into all of this cash that they've saved up, and if they can't make this work, Rugratz might be able to run away with this one.
They certainly could, and that's the change of pace that you get on that CT side when you start building your money up. Back-to-back buys available, but that AWP in play for 4-pack. He'll be the challenge for AWP to Cobra right now as Rugratz. They head towards this connector area. 11-11, this is a key round.
Oh, it absolutely is. Look at this boost from Infinite. Oh, he's going to spot out the man straight away through the wall, and that's Carson dropping instantly, completely oblivious to where he's been shot from. And that's the man advantage taken from Rugratz in such an integral round as well. This is where they could really pull ahead. If they win this one, they break the economy of their opponents, and they should be able to get themselves onto 13. They need to close this first, but so far, they've shown all of the promise to do so. A minute 10 on this clock, and Retchi wants to try and take control of these toilets once again. Rugratz, they're just playing this perfectly right now. Not getting too aggressive, not making any mistakes. They're holding back true and strong. And as Rebirth start to realise it, they know they need to start to push into this long area, get onto this A site. They're carrying the C4 over. Not a lot of utility to work with to get them onto this bomb site. But 3 Molotovs, a couple of smoke grenades might just be sufficient.
Certainly could be. The AWP at the ready, and Rugratz, player ahead, looking to do even more damage here. With the aggressive stance of the AWP, nice flick from Cobra. He's woke up, straight to the server fairly late in the half. Remember, only 2 kills for that T side, but really finding his form, and there's another frag.
He is certainly showing up. We talked about him, and as soon as we talked about him, it was like he could hear us. He started to fire through for so much damage, and Retchi burns in his own Molotov. It's all going wrong for Rebirth right now as Rugratz pull ahead to 12. And as I said before, they should be able to get onto 13 here. Rebirth's economy's broken once again, and every man on this Rugratz side is rolling in it. They could buy a yacht with this money.
Rugratz, such an assertive lead here, and Rebirth, what can they do to bring this one back? They're the #1 seed in this tournament, and challenged for the first time in this open qualifier here on Overpass.
It's not a comfortable position to be in. Rebirth goes to Beijing. Might not be the reality of this one. The nade goes over, deals a lot of damage onto these Deagles. Of course, they're backed up by the Kevlar as well, so this is a fairly hefty investment for Rebirth, considering this should just be an eco round for them. Straight off the bat, every single man taking tons and tons of damage from those nades, and the M4 punch through for even more. 3 men remaining, and there's a minute 20 on this clock. Rebirth haven't got anything done here.
Yeah, this is such a scary setup. And at 12-11 as well, Rugratz might be about to take an assertive lead in this series. Cobra with another one. He's really impressive throughout this second side, and there's definitely a reason why they've picked Overpass for this one. Remember, we go to Mirage next. That is Rebirth's pick, so maybe more of a chance in that one, but Rugratz really want to make this a 3-mapper here to end up those closed qualifiers, or open qualifiers.
Certainly showed off that they're a force to be reckoned with on this CT side. They've put up a hell of a performance. Of course, we saw an 8-7 half, but with the pistol going Rebirth's favour, Rugratz have done a hell of a job to get themselves onto 13 this early on. The double-up setup for this T side, something that you don't see all too often. It's 4-pack and Sneaky to wield them as they burst through that Molotov, want to try and find something opening onto this A site, and so far not able to do so.
Sensational start, 13 to 11 on the board. This is where Rugratz will try and close. Double AWPs on the T side. Don't really know too much about that one, with Sneaky picking it up for the first time. There's the boost once again towards an RZU going to collapse.
This is not looking good for Rebirth. In so many of these rounds, not only did they take that initial man disadvantage, but Rugratz seem to fire through for more. We see a 5 versus 3 situation once again, and right now, Rebirth really trying to pick up the pieces. This double AWP setup still in play, and being unable to find those opening picks really adds contingencies to this round. All heading up over towards long. Infinite's in position to try and deal with this one. Maybe the long-range fight doesn't go his favour as he is facing up against the AWPs, but as 4-pack whiffs, Infinite's able to stay alive for a few seconds longer, getting himself in a real dangerous position. Rick can do even more damage. Only the one found, but the 3v2 in Rugratz' fate.
This is where things start to get incredibly scary. 4-pack low on HP, a WP available, and he needs to fire through for 3 frags right now to keep Rebirth going in this series. Remember, the money crushed if they don't take it. Molotov's through, that one unsuccessful, as RZU can actually peek behind. Doesn't want to bait himself into the setup, but as 4-pack drops, it's all down to Phantom. He's found by the flank, and Rugratz 14.
Rugratz not only hold down that bit A site like an absolute wall, but they have Fang on the flank just to be that insurance policy to make sure that even if they do have problems holding on to the site, he can come in, punch in the damage from behind, and deny that bomb plant with only a few seconds remaining in the round.
Sensational stuff, and Rugratz really posting a solid defense. Overpass, certainly a staple of their map pool. We don't see them play too many games on HLTV specifically, but this is one to remember. Getting into those close qualifiers perhaps off the back of this best of 3, and it's Phantom to open things up with another stunning headshot.
That was lightning fast. To spin around, react, and land that headshot is something pretty mesmerizing. It does give them this man advantage here in the 11th of the half, and they really need to win this. If they can't convert it, Rugratz get themselves onto match point, and so far so good. They've done a lot of damage.
And need to do a little bit more before this one comes to a close. The B bomb site under contest. Rugratz absolutely know this, and despite losing the first man, they've got the full flank in place. The rotate all in place as well. RZU with 2, and he's going to over-aggress for the 3rd. Sneaky falls, the bomb in the open, and how can fall back, claw back, any control. Bomb in the open, there's the first shot. RZU complete overexposure, like 5,000 ICU. But it's Fang to try and close this one, and it's a hip-spotted hip replacement for 4-pack. Just Retchi remains in the 1 versus 3, other side of the map, and Cobra's hearing everything. There's the closer, Rugratz 15.
The only saving grace there was the fact that Rebirth had a little bit of time to work with. In fact, quite a lot of it. But as soon as RZU pushed into short, found those initial 2 kills on the low HP players, and got that bomb control, that's pretty much all said and done. He was just able to fire through for even more. They get 3 men holding on to that B short area, and it's lock and key. Rugratz 4 chances to close here, but this is their best chance to do so. Rebirth really don't have a lot of money in the bank, and no surprise they call a pause.
Yeah, a lot of these Rebirth tighter matchups have gone 16-14 or to OT. They don't want the former, certainly the latter, as they need 4 in a row to get back into this one. Eating a tactical eco before they get into the action. That's the tactical timeout, of course. 4 rounds remaining in this half, and Rugratz, they've got plenty of cash carried through. This will be buy after buy after buy. They've got so much money to rely on.
Rebirth need to pull off an absolute masterclass here. They've got a couple of AKs, a couple of Galils, very limited utility, but they have to win it. And if they don't, it's going to be Rugratz taking map 1. The Orcs have the control early on towards middle. Somehow lands a shot before he falls. A 4 versus 4 situation very early on.
That's a sensational shot from Cobra. I don't know how he gets away with it, but Rugratz might have just clawed away this map. Carson remains a 1 versus 4, and this has fallen to absolute pieces, fallen apart at the seams. As Rebirth, they don't get the job done on overpass. It's just Carson here, and I think he's about to go down. That seals his fate. It's Infinite, their captain, to do the damage. 16-11 right there as they go on to Mirage with their heads held high. We'll go to a very short break, ladies and gentlemen, but you don't want to miss this second map.
Best my average, there's a reason for that's a fact. So they snapping back, mad at the fact that I don't have a backup plan. I ain't need that. Outworking everybody when I relax, so I ain't tripping about none of y'all feedback. Every day I wonder when I'm gonna peak at, and that's why you count your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'm a dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting the blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now.
I fell apart when I saw you look at me that way. It broke my heart to see. It was a moment of darkness, a moment in time that I regret for being so heartless. It was a moment of darkness. I fell apart when I saw you look at me that way. It broke my heart to see. It's too hard, it don't come easy. I went dark, I lost it right away. And when it starts, God knows what I'll say. In my head, I had good reason. I went red so unexpectedly. I should have said that sometimes happens to me. It was a moment of darkness, a moment in time that I regret for being so heartless. It was a moment of darkness. Moment of darkness. Moment of darkness.
Embrace your destiny, slay your enemy, raise a legacy. No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energies. Pull yourself back together and staying off track forever. Child of the nation, will seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory, time for history. Rebirth's a tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come, you're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, go pack your bag now, keep your feet on the road and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out, out. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Go save your team, be a hero. Take home the cup, be a star. They waiting for you, take aim, shoot your arrow. It's your time to shine, show them who you are. Stronger, Gotta go faster, gotta get better, gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now, get up now. Go with the move, go for the goal, lead up the stadium, you know how it's done. Stand up, go when it takes to fight back, don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show him how to make a miracle. Stand up, go when it takes to fight back, don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show him how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show him how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show him how to make a miracle. On this day, I take my place in this legacy of dust. I ricochet all in your face, and it quenches my bloodlust. Nothing you can do can break me. I wanna more can make me. I let you try to take me on. Nothing you can do can break me. I wanna more can make me. I let you try to take me I got you in my crosshairs. I hope you like the taste of pain. The only thing between me and you is a bullet with your name. Nothing you can do can break me. I wanna more can make me. I let you try to take me on. Nothing you can do can break me. I wanna more can make me. I let you try to take me
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the IEM Beijing Open Qualifiers. My name's Squid, he's M&J, and we're in the second map right now, going right into this pistol.
As we jump straight into it, without further ado, it is going to be 4 Kevlar, a kit on RZU, a smoke to back it up, and a little bit of utility on this T side as well. They're heading over towards this A site straight off the bat, and this is where they want to try and get this aggression in very, very early on, not wasting any time.
The rotation from Rugratz, more importantly, is already here. 4 players from the CT spawn. They want to contend with this. And Cobra only comes through with the first in these USPSs. They're finally chipping through. It's RZU with the double and Infinite to finish off the job with one of his own.
That is absolutely sensational. That's one of the quickest pistol rounds we've seen in a very, very long time. Rebirth going for that very, very fast A aggression, and Rugratz going for the control over towards B, realizing what their opponents are doing straight off the bat, calling in those rotations and dealing with it very, very swiftly. Going into the second, they're going to go for a full investment and Rebirth on the eco. No bomb plant, no money to work with.
Now, only the double Deagle P250 in play, no Kevlar as you mentioned, and not really much to work with here for Rebirth as they strive for mid-control to start us off.
Oh, nice connection from Cobra there to find the first. He was the man that we mentioned was pretty slow to start on overpass, and then really, really picked it up in the second half and was an integral part of Rugratz's success.
Just connect control this time, and RZU is able to just scope away a second with the MP9. Lots of cash banked, $600 per kill, of course, and obviously wanting to do as much of this damage as possible with the MP9s, but it's the Deagle instead to find a 1-Deag. What a headshot.
That's such a skillful shot for him to hit. At that kind of range, adjusting your crosshair as well to hit that headshot is pretty impressive. With no Kevlar to back it up, and that rifle not only unretrievable, but absolutely miles away, I'm not sure what more they can bring into this one. That C4 is heading over towards B, but there are two defenders to hold it up. It's Infinite and Madder to hold up the line, and they should be able to do so quite comfortably.
Yeah, I don't see any possibility of the bomb going down here at the 40-second mark. Madder has to play consistent. Obviously, with the FAMAS in hand, needs to get that primary weapon back out to receive. He absolutely does. And here come the headshot, surely. Deagle going down. Phantom the first to fall, and I'm sure Retchy and Sneaky will probably follow suit right now. Nice Crimson Web Deagle. It's flashy, but can't find the frag. Matt is able to shut the rest away with Infinite there. 2-0 Rugratz, very convincing stuff.
Absolutely. Ringer roses, they all fall down. Rugratz now 2-0 up. Rebirth going for this investment. It's AKs all round. A little bit of utility to work with as well. Actually quite a lot on 4-pack and Phantom, but it starts to lack when you head over to Sneaky. Retchy only with that smoke and flash in hand, and on a map like Mirage, it's so important for you to have those nades to work with. Once again, they're heading over towards A. They want to get in early, charging right through the Molotov. This is a dangerous game to be playing.
AK-47 able to connect with that first, and it's Carson at the ready. Scope away Fang. Loses his Fangs and Facts there on the A-take, as the MP9s want to get up close and personal beside the smoke, but the rotate has already gone across for Rebirth. They're heading to B.
Blink and you'll miss it. Straight off the bat, Rebirth charge right in, not wasting any time whatsoever. This is quite quick, though. Off of the back of losing a couple of men, they head right back round to that B-bomb site, and it's been gifted to them. There's no Rugratz defending. They're playing for the retake here, so this is going to be a difficult one for them to grab back. As they've guessed wrong, the C4 is going to go down, and Rebirth have a chance here in the third.
Yeah, needing to tap those digits in and hold them away with the AK. It's Carson to entry up the fragging. Infinite held at an arm's length. Popped in the grave. Madder wants to respond. He's got a primary weapon of his own. It's, of course, that AK-47 as the kitchen, the marketplace angle becomes the prevalent threat. Phantom, he's going to nail another one. Smoke cross found, and the MP9 fall to drop as well. Madder remains, and Phantom, he might have this angle completely under wraps against the AK-47. That bomb beeping ever so fast, and Phantom just delaying. There's no kit available, and Madder's surely going to explode here. It's the AK-47 to pop him open instead, and Rebirth take their first.
Phantom plays that round absolutely perfectly. Of course, there's no kit on Madder, so the time pressure starts to mount. He realizes that he has no chance, has to make the sound cue, and that is his detriment. Phantom just dancing around that pillar, not giving away any information. That's going to be the first for Rebirth, and an opportunity for them to reinvest into this one. With that bomb plant, they still don't have a lot of money. It is still 3 Galils floating, and they're against a pretty similar buy, just with the 2 pistols here for Rugratz.
Sensational start, back and forth since the very beginning of this year. Got to hold up this defense. Along with the primary weapons, not really much utility to play with. The Molotov contended, Retchy up first, and needs to challenge these smoke grenades. Rugratz held right back. 80 seconds, lots of time to get this bomb down and away, and that'll absolutely happen. It's Retchy pumping in the digits on that one. Infinite, the captain, wants to rejoin his forces over beside the connector angle. Rugratz, how do they get back into this one right now? It's such a tough, tricky retake. The primary question mark for me is how many rifles do they decide to lose? They need these shots fast, and it's Cobra to start off the fragging. 1 shot found. It's Phantom 4-pack to trade, and there's the finisher there from 4-pack inside the Palace. Great double, 2 rounds.
Well, a 5 versus 5 retake is something that you don't see all too often, but Rugratz seem to be quite capable and quite comfortable to go for it. As we go into the 5th, it feels like we've only been here for a few minutes. These rounds have been incredibly fast, but finally this Rugratz economy is broken. They're just down to the pistol.
And that was the pace on Overpass as well. Despite it going to 27 rounds, almost the distance there, only a couple left to be played, it felt like that matchup took barely 25 minutes.
I'm not sure if this is an NACS thing. Maybe it's just these matches. Maybe it's just these teams.
It is an NACS.
Yeah, maybe so. These rounds just being incredibly fast time and time again. Madder, nice bit of aggression towards Underparty, is only good for 1 before it's traded. But in a round like this, where they've just got the pistols, it's all about damage. And finding it early is absolutely what they're going for. RZU in prime position to do some more, and he absolutely does.
And now it's just Carson challenged over beside the A bomb site. Probably doesn't want to neglect ramp, especially a 4-pack with the C4 on his back is going to rotate all the way over, especially through the Palace, which was previously in contention. Remember RZU, he's flailed away with only a Mac 10 to his name. That's the only primary weapon on the server. Everybody else with secondaries just these pistols. Unkevlar'd at that. Makes the Mac 10 useless. If the AK can connect with even just 1 bullet, aim punch becomes a real factor. That'll be more of a rattlesnake flailing around. The Deagle, more a controlled burst for the headshots. And Carson should end things on this A-bomb site pretty much single-handedly here against the CZ75. Nice attempt from Fang, but it's not enough to nail away the round. 30 seconds, bomb goes down. I'm sure this will pull in the retake.
The longer Carson takes, the more opportunity he gives for Rugratz to get back into this one. As Cobra's up close, only with the USP, he wants to wait for his teammate, Infinite, to get into this one with that AK. The lack of Kevlar surely causes them some problems, but with that bomb beeping away, Rebirth have been able to get these post-plant positions. They should be able to take this one quite comfortably. A high flash, a second to pop, gives them even more time to work with. And with no kits on this Rugratz side, they need to speed up this retake, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do so. Retchi with another kill coming through, and Infinite surely just goes for the save call here.
Yeah, needs to cling on to this AK-47. That'll be the single primary weapon that Rugratz carry through to this 6th round. Bomb might even take Reggie down here, but no, explodes just a couple of seconds later. He's on fairly low HP, so getting towards the T-spawn and as far away from the C-store as possible is absolutely influential right now. Rebirth, they take the narrow lead, 3-2. But what can Rugratz do? What money do they have here? I think enough for a full buy. Cobra maybe the glass cannon in play. And Rebirth, they've got that AWP as well on the back of 4-pack.
After a shaky start, Rebirth is certainly looking more comfortable here on Mirage. The bank started to build up. They've got this AWP, the rifles to work with. Sneaky down to a Deagle, which is quite surprising, considering 4-pack and Carson would have been able to drop him. Nonetheless, they're against the rifles here from Rugratz. With a minute 40 on the spot, they're wasting no time. They want to try and take the mid-control, and the Cobra slows things up early, even finding himself a second.
As we said, the slow man to the server in the first map certainly has dictated the pace here on Mirage. 3 fast frags, tries to over-aggress into the AWP. This 4-pack brings it through once again. A 3 versus 1 for Retchi. I'm sure he's going to go down here, and it's the M4 to secure the job. Rugratz, crucial round. That's one that they needed to take.
Rebirth have shown us a lot of talent so far throughout this bracket, but in this matchup it just feels very disjointed. Jumping back to that last round, Sneaky was just down to a Deagle, but his teammates had enough money to drop him. It felt like they just hadn't discussed it. They hadn't utilised that freeze time, properly, and therefore they're just really behind it.
I did mention yesterday in that last Rebirth train matchup they played that I felt like if they came in with a similar, same performance today in those close qualifiers as well, even in just the best of 3s against a team like a Rugratz, they would pose real problems. They're still playing a competitive game of CS, but I know this is nowhere near their skill ceiling.
Well, it absolutely isn't, and here in the 7th, they've already taken this man disadvantage. Couple of rifles and an AWP to work with. Sneaky's still down to that Deagle, and he hasn't found himself a single kill so far on Mirage. This is starting to cause some problems. 4-pack does whiff a flash, but connects with the second as Rebirth continue to take this mid-control. No one's there to contest it. Rugratz have fallen back into a really passive default where they just want to hold on to these bomb sites and play the range advantage.
Yeah, minute left to play, and Cobra, first man through with the MP9, catches Phantom completely on guard. Unbeknownst to him, it's Infinite to go for the secondary swing. And now Rebirth need to set their talons upon this B bomb site. Can they scratch a victory out of this one? I really don't think so. Sneaky Carson, the last two alive, and only a deagle in play here from Sneaky as well, as we mentioned before. Wanting to keep a little bit of that extra cash alive. Sometimes we see that Brocchion, especially, might actually pick up that deagle instead in some of these buy rounds. Instead, it's contended flawlessly from Rugratz, really establishing this pace in the first half.
Not losing a single man, and you really expect Infinite to be the one making these big plays. Instead, it's Cobra. Several multi-kills so far here on Mirage. He's playing absolutely superbly. Round number 8, Rebirth not investing in as well, but not much more as they head over towards B early. This is a fake play. They want to try and draw the attention of Rugratz over towards this B site so that C4 can go down. Perhaps as it starts to rotate, they actually want to play the safety in numbers. With just these pistols to work with up against the full automatic rifles, I'm not sure how much success they'll have with it. And with a minute 30 on this clock, the Molotov slowing things down further and the nade punching in for even more damage. Carson can't even live to see another enemy.
Rugratz playing such a convincing CT side right now. A couple of flawless rounds, and this might be another against the blocks. Easy sweep away from Mada. Last bullet shot onto Phantom as well to eliminate him. Poses no problems inside the apartments. Can't even get close to this one, and the bomb going down seems to be a total impossibility here in round 8. No bonus cash for Rebirth, as they will just try and stay put inside the apartments, just temporarily, for Cynic to try and spray away a kill. Deagle retrieved, no headshot found. It's the captain to wait in proceedings inside the apartments.
That's a rough one for Rebirth. Those upgraded pistols really needed to try and find an opening kill to give Rebirth an opportunity to get onto that B bomb site. Go for that C4 plant, which was really the goal there in the 8th. But dropping instantly, Rugratz were able to converge and just completely eliminate the threat. Now they've got lots of money built up. They've got all the rifles to work with. They face up against the AKs once again. And if they take it, they're in a really strong position here early on Mirage.
They certainly are. That would put Rebirth in this eco cycle where they can't really buy into the next, but with Sneaky nailing the first shot, an isolated execute through the connector. It's the nade in shot to come through to find not just one, but two. Retchy Phantom, last pair alive. They've got the AK-47s in hand, but barely above 50 HP between the two of them. It's Cobra to fire him once again. Spots out a leg, no frag, and there's the Khalil to close.
As soon as he radios in the information that Retchy's low HP on that bomb site, Infinite's able to just swing and finish him off. Rugratz, they've just not been challenged so far throughout this series, especially not here on Mirage. This is Rebirth's map pick, and they don't have any more chances. I talked about the fact that in the best of ones, it was a really touch-and-go situation. Certainly could have gone either way. But now in the best of threes, they're given a couple of opportunities, and they're not seizing them.
Since you are a real millennial, Josh, I have got a question. Have you ever watched Rugratz?
I have watched Rugratz. All of the Rugratz movies. Rugratz in Paris, Rugratz, what's the other one? Just the Rugratz movie. They're my favourite. I love them.
Rugratz in Paradise?
No, that's not a film. That's a song. That's a song.
Either way, 6-3 on the board, and Rebirth, I think they might be about to concede their 7th.
Right now, discharging the pistols are not able to get a whole lot more. The M4 racking up the kills. Infinite stat padding right now. And that, well, with Mada coming in for more, it's just a very, very clean sweep. Only losing one man as Rugratz get themselves onto 7.
7-3, continuation play for Rugratz once again as they need to contend with the rifles into round number 11. Full pack back with the AWP and Cobra to contend him on the CT side. Full set of utility, of course, and a bit of cash behind. Rebirth, what can they do with this mid-control?
Single AWP on both sides, but Rebirth haven't got the cash to back it up. They really need to win this one, and if they don't, Rugratz can just continue to steamroll this half. 7-3 they sit, and Fang very, very comfortable playing up close to these smokes. A fantastic grenade. Doesn't actually do too much damage onto Retchy. I was expecting a whole lot more than that, but with a minute 30 on the clock, Rugratz still in control, and no bomb site control giving up whatsoever. Just containing their opponents in mid right now.
Along those nades, you play a game of, what's that dance game that everybody plays, where you're like on the dance machine and you've got like the 4 buttons on the floor?
I'm not sure what they're called, but yeah, they're just dance things. I can't remember.
I think it is actually called Just Dance.
Yeah, I like those. I like those.
Either way, 7-3 on the board. 4-pack AWP, as I mentioned. And just the minute left as the bomb wants to rotate away. Players actually stopping towards the top of mid. So maybe Rebirth trying to think of how to dictate their play. They've already got... Is that Retchi inside the connector here? Does get spotted, so not able to do anything with it. Is Infinite's instantly able to find him. That actually caused the rotate the wrong way. And Cobra's got to come in massive. What a tag, secondary frag. That's actually with the HE grenade, so as Sneaky does pop on through, it's a headshot for him, but the rotates are already here for Rugratz once again. The reinforcements radioed in. 4-pack needs so many frags right now, and with the flank coming through from Infinite, he's such a stealthy member, and that's exactly why. Headshot found, 4-pack remains, and it might even be the knife to finish. Nomadic closes it out. But that is such a ballsy play from RZU. I guess in the 1 versus 3, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But I've seen so many rounds go the other way just off the back of something like that. You need to be careful.
Really shows how one-sided this really is. And as Rugratz are on to 8, they should be able to get on to 9 potentially as Rebirth are in this cycle of just forcing up into the Galils. Retchi on that single pistol. It's not the best of buys as they head over towards A early. They've not had a lot of success over on this A bomb side. Let's see if that can change here in the 12.
We need to remember this is Rebirth's map pick. When are they going to step up? It has to be sooner rather than later. And the 8 can actually sacrifice this one. Couple of kills, bang with one. Instantly traded. A 3-for-1 trade here for Rebirth, as they should take this A bomb site nice and cleanly.
The C4 going down. The Molotov's placed nicely, and actually the C4 is not planted. Madder's nade lands just in the nick of time, and that adds complications to Rebirth. They have to cross this area, get that bomb and plant it, and a kill coming through. Madder all on his lonesome. The spray takes him out. It gets a little bit sketchy towards the end, but Rebirth do manage to close.
It really felt like they needed that round there, and this is another important one. Rugratz, they've got buys for days, they've got plenty of money, should be able to invest until the rest of this half, I guess. Madder and Cobra, they've got plenty of bank behind them. That's before the reinvestments come through, so I think one has to be dropped to RZU. Plenty of money left. I think they'll have enough for one more buy here. If Rebirth take 2 in a row, then maybe the 8-7 becomes a possibility with an easier round to end off the half, but I almost can't see that happening right now. They've got to play some phenomenal Counter-Strike to end this successfully.
Having to buy the kits, the helmets, an extra 200 for the incendiaries, and an extra 400 for the rifles. It's certainly more expensive to be on that CT side. Nonetheless, Rugratz still finding this opening kill here in the 13th, looking very, very comfortable. They might not even have any trouble reinvesting into the next, especially if they win it. Rebirth going for this mid control once again. So far haven't had any success with it as they try and get into connector. As Cobra's still lurking towards jungle though, he's going to have to fall away. The smoke grenade might be deployed, but Rugratz still in control with a minute left on this clock.
Cobra actually took 86 damage to that Molotov, just standing away inside. No real angle to find, and now Rebirth isolating this A bomb site. Only the one man, that's Fang to hold up the rotate. Of course, he's playing in from Tetris, and Carson has the angle totally under wraps. M4 needs to strike through, drops the bomb initially, and there's a second for his troubles. Loses teammates all around him, but still another 2 versus 2 scenario with Phantom heading towards the CT spawn to try and eliminate the captain right now. He knows exactly where Infinite's playing from, but that is such a fast headshot to finish. Just Sneaky now, a 1 versus 2, and Fang taking a tip out of Sneaky's book, heading towards the middle of the map at the 20-second mark. This bomb, it's so widely contested, and it might actually go down here. Infinite can't really peek. Needs to wait for Fang on the engagement. He's towards short, but still watching towards the ramp room. Knows exactly that he needs to check towards the CT spawn, and should be caught in rotation right now by the Org. Knows exactly where he's playing from. That's perfect from Infinite.
Infinite, he's far too quick to the punch, and that's going to be the 9th here for Rugratz. A pretty nice round from them, all things considered as well. Just holding up that line, making sure that the attack from this A site is just delayed for as long as it possibly can be. A valiant attempt from Phantom as he found himself 2 towards CT, but it's just not enough to get the job done. Rugratz now sit 9-4 and have a good chance to extend it further.
Exactly right. I wonder if this will be an 11-4, 10-5 kind of half, and then that T side would determine it. Maybe even a pistol round at the end of the day. And 11-4 usually means if you take the pistol, it's pretty much game over. Rugratz straight through to the closed qualifier. That's the prize on the line. See what Rebirth can do to stunt that one. They're the #1 seeds here. Let's see that mental resilience come into play.
I can't imagine too many people were expecting a Rugratz win here. Certainly not a Rugratz 2-0. As you say, this mental resilience really needs to come through right now for Rebirth. They've not had the best of series so far, and they need to pick up these final couple of rounds on the T side and the CT.
Oh, that is such a dangerous angle for Fang. I was going to say that Rebirth taking Overpass actually quite close. Of course, Rugrats were able to win that map, but 11 rounds seemed convincing at times. Felt like this was certainly going to be a 3 map, but that pace has changed, and Rebirth pulling on the brakes. Straight towards A, Cobra contends for the angle. A 12-kill CT side. He usually has his main panics and qualms on the terrorist tag. Statistics, they're a lot weaker when you go to that T side. See if he can keep this pace with the AWP to try and watch the cross. It looks like Rebirth are hyper aware where he's playing from right now, but apparently not that aware. He instantly finds the first, and Matt is there for the cross. That's a big mistake. Leaves Phantom clutching it towards a 1 versus 2 as he needs both of these frags right now. Cobra closing, misses the shot. That's the key one to whiff. Is Rugratz stuck on 9? It's Rebirth taking 5.
That's really unfortunate that information wasn't relayed to Cobra there, that remaining player was on very, very low health. Cobra could have gone for that pistol, landed 1 shot, and it would have been his round for the taking. We talk about the fact that his stats are very, very strong right now on this CT side. It's because he plays this cannon kind of AWP style. He's not too strong when it comes to trying to play really dynamic, take the control with the AWP. Instead, just posts up on these angles, finds the opening pick more often than not. This time, that's not the case. T side charging right through. This should be 6 for Rebirth.
They absolutely need it here. Smokes go down on mid, and Retchi trying to contend for this control should be set play in the bag, and RZU puts one back in his favour. Matter with a single as well. Matter's been completely spotted, of course, so the AWP on the floor can't be retrieved. AK instead, he's got the body armor to contend. No defuse kit, has to speed up, and it's straight through stairs to try and do the trick. And that bomb plant not going down in time might actually haunt Carson at the end of this round. Doesn't have the info onto Matter. He's stuck on stairs, and with Crossfire placed, Rebirth, surely they've got this one in the tank right now. Matter closing in, low on time, needs a full 10% can defuse to get this one done. It's a sensational headshot, but that ends the half. Not without a little bit of sweaty nature at the end, but 9-6, Rugratz still a lead. Let's see what they can do going on to T right after a very short break, ladies and gents. Welcome back. Second half, ladies and gentlemen. Pistols at the ready. We go into this half. Let's see what the buys look like.
Oh, there we go. The kit on Phantom. Probably Kevlar all round for the rest of the Rebirth side. It's going to be Cobra and RZU, the men to build the utility for this T-half. And they are heading over towards A early. Maybe just a standard A execute, as they've got a couple of smokes to work with. It's looking like that will be the case. Minute 45 on the clock. It's not looking like they're going to waste any time before they deploy them.
No, smoke's right over the top right there, and it's Cobra to start things off with that Glock. Not as hefty of an A defense for Rebirth. Remember, for Rugratz, it was all 4 players towards the ticket booth in CT spawn. The rotate fairly late, allows the bomb to go down early, and Rebirth are banking on Rugratz pushing this CT spawn. Maybe this might be a misplay. If Rugratz don't decide to get aggressive, which they certainly won't, they can play for the executes anyway, and Fang taking the rear line, he can take full mid control with a retrieve P250 in hand, and there's still a P250 towards the middle of the map as well. That's Palace holding down the entirety of this A-bomb site. Retchy and Phantom put 1 and 2 in as a response. Kit in hand, this Glock needs to connect, but it runs out of bullets instead. P2000 cannot find its shots, and there's the defuse from Phantom.
That is certainly not something you see every day. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what on earth are Rebirth doing here? As soon as the execute came through, they had 3 men stacked up literally in the CT spawn. I thought maybe they're going for a retake, but they're leaving this one far too late. But getting that smoke on the C4 straight away, charging in with the kit, something that Rugratz just cannot contend with, especially with those Glocks at range. As we go into the second round of the half here, Rugratz are going to go for the full investment off the back of that C4 plant. So an even Stevens buy with the MP9s in play for Rebirth.
RZU only with the Deagle, and it seems to be mid-control to contend the start of this one. Rugratz, they want to bring it back early. You look at the buys, who actually has the better one? It's the T side. We always criticize this T side economy here in CSGO, this newest iteration, and this is just another example of it. You're able to get those rifles out first. It's a bit of a problem, and Rebirth, they've just got to contend with it right now. Carson initial information towards the B site. It's smoked down, flash to follow.
It means that these games are kept closer off the back of the pistols. You can't string together 3 every single time because the T's will bounce right back. 4 players stacked up over towards middle early with RZU over towards this B apartments. Wants to try and sneak out some aggression. Maybe see if Carson punches in. But right now, Rugratz is gone completely undetected. Incognito through short. And Infinite's able to find the first. Carson, undetected, able to punch in some more damage with this MP9. But surely he's traded here.
They need to contend with him right here, right now. Still alive. It's Infinite to find the both. A triple kill for him as the AK closes through short. And the bomb, it's actually isolated towards the other side of the map. Only 30 seconds left. This won't go down on the B bomb site. And Rugratz need both of these kills. It's firmly in Rebirth control. What a massive mistake as the nade surely doesn't connect. It absolutely doesn't. Another smoke grenade here, but Sneaky can hold up the angle on his lonesome. He's inside the ladder room, and how do they contend with him? It's Infinite in first. Shot found. 12 seconds. I don't think there's enough time for this bomb plant any longer. 8-7-6. The Infinite needs to get these digits tapped in, and he will last possible second. Retchy can't deny, and he certainly can't defuse. It's Rugratz up to 10, but what a scary round.
It doesn't seem like much at the time, but that smoke grenade on short wins them that round. It means that that player playing from window can't get that sight line onto the bomb. They're able to isolate the fight in ladder room, retrieve that C4, get it down just in the nick of time, and then it's theirs for the taking. That's 10 for Rugratz. Snatch away the second. Rebirth now just down to these Deagles. It's a full investment. If they can't convert this, it's an eco in the next and 12 for Rugratz.
Yeah, just the Deagles, it's a real problem. Rugratz, not much to work with. It's mid-control once again. This seems to be the staple with the bomb drop towards the top of mid. They need better bomb control going into this round. Remember, dropped on short in the last. They can't let those problems re-emerge as the pressure's applied.
Right now, Rugratz will come down into this one. Matter actually not investing anything. Maybe that's so that he can buy the AWP in the next. It's a bizarre one. They know what they're going to be up against, though, and they're pretty confident in their ability to deal with it. Right now, just charging right through. In fact, Matter may be AFK. He's still in spawn. Nonetheless, Rugratz are playing this one out.
Somebody needs to wake him up, get that alarm clock at the ready, and with the Glock, he's certainly out of the action. Rugratz could take this round easily without him, needless to say. They obviously didn't notice. Communication's clearly great on this team, but 11 rounds, a map 1 already against the #1 seed. Can't really criticize them. You'd expect the pulls to come through in the next if it still poses a problem, but this could still be 11-7. It would be painful if this is the change of mistake made to toss him around, but that doesn't seem to be the case right now. Cobra, RZU, both with frags. The whole A bomb site totally open.
as the bomb that's 4-pack and Retchi last alive, very, very little HP, and Rugratz surely realise that this A-bomb site is for the taking. The C4 rotates round, they will be able to plant it, and this will be theirs for the taking.
We've got to remember as well, this was a Rebirth force buy here in round number 3. The economy is in complete economic ruins right now. 4-pack Retchi need to keep hold of these Deagles. That's why they're not hunting for the exit. Even if Matter, he's actually back in the equation. He's rejoined, no timeout. Maybe he just went for lunch, I'm not sure. Deagle at the ready, and I mean, he's got more money to buy into the next anyway. Rugratz, even with a handicap, able to take number 11.
What time is it in North America? What, they're 6 hours behind? Maybe he's gone for tea.
Yeah, well, we know that there were a couple of discussions over what the server was going to be here, so I think that the time zones are slightly different, but they're at least 5, 6, 7 rounds behind, or hours behind, I should say.
Probably so. Oh, 4-pack falling right at the end of that one, and Retchi, he might be able to survive here, as that C4 goes off. They haven't got enough time to take care of him. That Deagle might be able to do more damage in this one than the last, but a 4-round lead here for Rugratz. More than likely they'll extend it to 5. This is very, very dangerous. Rugratz are actually in a prime position to take this second map and take this series 2-0.
And that would be a massive factor here for them. Instantly through to that closed qualifier, that's quite a statement. It takes some balls to actually make your way through these open qualification best-of-1 brackets, and then even taking a best-of-3 against the favourites. That number 1 seed, ESEA does such a great job at seeding these tournaments. It definitely means something.
Absolutely. Rugratz, their plan right here is just to hold on to as many rifles as they can. They're actually walking into a full stack over towards this A-bomb site, so they might be met with some trouble, but just with the USPs to contend with and the smokes locking them out, they shouldn't have too many problems. The nade punching in for even more damage, and these Galils and AKs firing, taking the range advantage, not being troubled all too much.
I've got to say, Rugratz just playing some perfect CS right now. We've got to remember that Rebirth Rugratz are about to play a best-of-1 in the ESEA Mountain Dew League later on in the night, just a couple of hours' time shortly after. And Rugratz taking a 2-0 here. That's quite a promising result. Of course, they don't have a massive number of maps on record. I think I saw that, they've one map on Mirage played, perhaps, Rebirth. Not really much more here. It's a really dangerous, damaging sign when you don't have that information to go off. It's not like Rebirth can dig into the demos before this one, and you can guarantee that Rugratz have them.
It's a key point to make. It's tricky to prepare against when your opponents are an unknown entity. RZU opening up this round very, very swiftly with 2 headshots. 4-pack does find it back with 2 of his own. So brings things back into a 3-on-4. In fact, 3-on-3 situation. But right now, Rugratz have got this positional advantage. Infinite in the connector is the key player.
Thankfully, the timeout doesn't mean anything for Rebirth. Couple of techies for both teams. 4-pack was actually fairly exposed on the A-bomb site for some time, but without Infinite closing in and finding any advantage, it will be 4-pack instead to hold the line with the M4A4 at the ready. Rotate finally coming through. That's Phantom on the aggression. He'll rejoin his teammate 4-pack over beside the ticket booth. Rugratz looking for a 13th. That Molotov's not really going to do too much here. Expect the smokes to just counter this one out and close them off. They should go down for the cross. And when is this bomb going away for Cobra right now? He's got the AK at the ready. Planting for short. It won't be contended. So bomb down. Retake in action. And that flashbang over the top really will hurt Rebirth for the first couple of seconds. Closing through Cobra first, and Carson surely next to fall. A 1 versus 3 to try and achieve, but he cannot connect the headshots required. It's 13 Rugratz.
When Rugratz started taking rounds early, I was thinking, are they really going to do this? But right now, it's looking like that might just be the case. A very, very convincing 3 versus 3 situation taken. And as soon as you see Rebirth right there, there's 2 men in CT. They're in prime positions to deal with that one. But Rugratz play it perfectly. The smoke goes up, they plant for short, and there's nothing that Rebirth can do. Going into the 6th of the half, it's just going to be the pistols. Rugratz, surely a 14th for the taking here.
Surely, surely, surely. It's the AK-47 through Palace, and Retchi doesn't even see it coming. Bullet in the side of the head. Definitely needs paracetamol as he heads through Palace for even more. Cobra may be able to strike the 2, but it's RZU instead to rack away the pistols. Rebirth, no chance. They've been deprived of this A-bomb site so many times, and even with a consolation frag here, Carson shouldn't even be able to get away with the AK. Cobra there in the back lines to secure 14. What a dominant performance.
Rugratz right now really need to mess up, otherwise they are going to be able to take this one. Rebirth trailing by 7. They've gone for this double AWP setup, but is it too little too late? It's Sneaky and 4-pack to wield them. Utility around, M4s to work with. They've got all of the tools, but they just don't seem to have the composure and the skill in this map to get it done.
Funnily enough, Rugratz haven't been playing with all the AWPs. That's 5 rifle setup in effect for quite some time. All those AKs give you a little bit of speed, and Rebirth certainly don't need that on the CT side. It's 4-pack, Sneaky, both picking up those double AWPs.
Rugratz are at 200% right now, and the pace is just increasing. 4-pack is able to find himself a nice shot, follows up with a second, and Cobra's here to get rid of these rotations. Gets himself the first onto Carson, adds some more complications as more damage punched through. Infinite has all the information, and he's able to find one more. 3 versus 3 now as Sneaky jumps up onto the box, somehow gets away with a dirty kill, possibly even more for the taking here, but with Cobra coming in from jungle, should be able to eliminate it. 2-on-1 in their favour, and Phantom all on his lonesome in short.
Feels like the communication is totally off, and Phantom exposed. He's out in the open. The AK right through. It's Cobra with 2. A third found as well, and that's 15-7. Nothing slowing Rugratz down.
That is going to leave a headache the next day. Phantom is completely baffled as he gets shot right through the wood on shore. Only the FAMASs to work with in potentially the last round of this one. How on earth have Rugratz taken this so convincingly?
They've got a double up of their own right now, and with Cobra heading towards the middle of the map, this looks oh so dangerous. Rebirth in a spot of panic. They might be about to knock out of this tournament. That certainly seems to be the case. The first frag coming in. It's Cobra again to do the preliminary damage. Right through that smoke, might find another, doesn't quite spot the shins there. Onto the first. That's the backtrack, but Cobra, what a stunning shot onto the second.
He's lightning fast, and you know he's going to connect it 99% of the time. That gives them an opening to get up short right now, and they've got a pretty free B bomb side. It's only Retchi to try and hold it up.
Yeah, this B-bomb site totally exposed. The C4 carried through, and surely Infinite can tap these digits in. They might actually head to A as a response. They might have heard those sound cues inside the apartments, since Infinite certainly seems to know that something sneaky's going on, and it definitely is. Rebirth with the FAMASs. They don't want to play a standard round of CS, especially a player down right now. So with the bomb going towards the A-bomb site, plenty of time to work with. And this flank from Retchi shouldn't really be able to do too much here at the 40-second mark. It is an AWP retrieved, but what can he do with it? The smokes are placed right in his face, and it's Cobra to potentially finish this series off. Another triple kill from him, and he's going for even more. The swing towards short, and 4-pack is history. Cobra, almost the ace, just a whisker away, and it's the P250 to do the damage. All 5 frags for Cobra as he finished this one off in a flawless fashion.
That is absolutely sensational. Rugratz just disposing of this series. Rebirth are gone. Rebirth aren't going to Beijing. It's going to be Rugratz moving over to the closed qualifiers. We're going to go to a short break, and we will be right back with you with the next series of the night. Don't go anywhere, folks.
I fell apart when I saw you look at me that way. It broke my heart to see. It was a moment of darkness, a moment in time that I regret for being so heartless. It was a moment of darkness. Moment of darkness. too hard, it don't come easy. I went dark, I lost it right away. And when it starts, God knows what I'll say. In my head, I had good reason. I went red so unexpectedly. I should have said that sometimes happens to me. It was a moment of darkness, a moment in time that I regret for being so heartless. It was a moment of darkness.
Embrace your destiny, slay your enemy, raise a legacy. No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energies. Pull yourself back together and stay off track forever. Child of the nation, will seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be devilry. You're praying for fortune to come. You're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, go pack your bag now. Keep your feet on the road and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, 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 out. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Go save your team, be a hero. Take home the cup, be a star. They waiting for you, take aim, shoot your arrow. It's your time to shine, show them who you are. Stronger, gotta go faster, gotta get better, gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now, get up now. Go with the move, go for the goal, lead up the sun. Stand up, up, go what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up, go what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, 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 out. Stand up, give all you got, show them how to make